What is up, guys? This is Lenthio coming at you with a card discussion today about a card coming out in Breakers of Shadow, and one that I think people will forget about, and it's just a little bit of a discussion to see if it might be playable or not, depending on the deck that you go against. So it's a trap card called the Unstoppable Grimorie. Its effect reads as follows. Declare one extra deck monster card type, fusion, synchro, or XYZ. Make both players send all monsters they control of the declared card type to the graveyard if two or more face-up monsters of the declared card type are on the field. So this is a very interesting card in my opinion, simply because it gives you the power to upset your opponent, to interrupt them in a very interesting way. Now I like the flexibility of it because it can basically put against any deck that would spam a certain type of extra deck card. So fusions, XYZs, and synchro monsters. If we look at the current meta coming up right now, one of the big decks is the Pepe deck, that does use a certain amount of cards, XYZs and synchros, depending on the type of builds that they are going with. Now, one deck that it obviously isn't useful against is Cosmos, because Cosmos just rely on their floating monsters to really beat down your opponent. So obviously it's not really going to be useful for that. If, dear God, if this said just choose one type of monster, that would be ridiculous. I think the card shines against lower tier decks, you know, those non-meta decks that you might come up against in tournaments. So for example, Synchrons, if you go against Synchrons and successfully resolve this card, oh dear God. But it's one that I think that has potential. I like the fact you can choose either the fusion, the synchro, or the XZ, and it doesn't have any other requirement apart from having two on the field, which also includes your side. So if your opponent is trying to go for some pretty big plays and you know that they're going to go into a certain type of thing, playing this and interrupting them will be quite nice in the grand scheme of things. This card could be very successful against the Odd Eyes deck that's coming out, that is slightly out but gets more support, just because they use their extra deck quite a lot. They have fusion, synchros, and XZ monsters that they all go into, so it's food for thought in my opinion. I think this card could be a bit of a sleeper, and it could be an interesting one. I don't expect it to be anything more than a common or a rare at most, but depending on how Konami goes, they might make it a super, but either way, it's probably going to be easy to get anyway. So I want to know what you guys think of the Unstoppable Grimorie. Do you think it is a decent card, or do you think it's just something that is just one of those cards that's filling the set and won't really do anything at all? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below, and make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.